Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and continuation to the tax learning series which I started yesterday. So today's agenda is all about is to get an understanding of like what is a measure, what is a column, okay? Because most of the calculation will go measure and column. There is another also table calculation, but mostly we'll deal with the measure and column in DAX, and both this works on a context. One is row context and filter context. These are the four terms you need to understand very thoroughly, because if you understand this clearly, the DAX writing of the DAX is, it will be easy for you. Okay, so let's discuss about the measure and column, right? So if you go to the modeling tab here, right, so you will get one option here, the calculation. Okay, this area is called the DAX calculation, right? So in the DAX calculation, three things are there. Quick measure is nothing but some measure only. So we can create a measure, we can create a column, and we can create a table, right? So these are the three things we can do in the using the DAX. So our main focus would be on today is called the measure and the column. Okay, so what exactly is difference between a column and a measure? Okay, so let's try to understand this with the example. Okay, so let's go to your store, which I given this data file already. So let's take, I want to create a column. I want to just subtract the actual sales minus expected sales, right? So that's it. I want to just calculate it. So I will go to my column tools, create a new column. Okay, so let's take the column is called profit. Okay, and simple I will say actual sales minus my expected sales. Okay, enter. So it's giving some data, right? So what is happening in this is a column, right? It is a column and it is available inside the table also. So previously we have a column till city or Abzo the owner, which you calculated yesterday, and one more column got added to the table, that is called profit. Okay, so the first thing is that whenever you are creating a column, it will be available inside the table. It's stored the memory. Okay, it just occupies some space. And here what is happening, how we are getting this data, it is just doing this, whatever the value we have minus this one. So each and every row, how many rows we have, around 1200 rows we have, each row is getting calculated throughout this calculation. Fine, so this is your the row context. Fine. Now the same I can perform through the measure, but that will be different context. I need to use a separate function SumX, which we didn't discuss, but later on we will discuss the SumX and all. But I am just going through another example of a, let's take sum of actual sales, just a measure I want to calculate here. Okay, so I can do anything. Okay, so we can go to table tools and we can create a new measure here. From here you can right click on this table, you can create a new measure, or you can go to the tables where you want to create it, and you can create a new measure, whichever choice is yours, and even the column section also. Okay, so now let's create a new measure here. We'll say total actual sales. Simple. So I will say sum of my total sales or actual sales. Sorry, wrong. Sum of actual sales. Okay. And if you see here, the main difference is that it is getting created. If you see, the first difference is called the your the symbol. Okay, if you see, the total actual sales is coming like a calculator signs. This is it signifies that it's a measure, and whenever you are creating a column, it will be available like this. So if you see the profit, it is less like a sigma symbol. This is the first difference, and the column will store inside the table, whereas measure is only it is showing, but it will not store inside anything. Okay, and it works on the filter context. Okay, so try to understand what exactly the filter context is all about here. Okay, so before to that, I want to just give us certain examples to understand more about your row context and filter context, and what exactly column and measure is all about. So let's jump into an Excel file. Okay, so here let's say I have a name and I have my budgeted sales and I have my actual sales. Simple. So I am creating the same profit here. Okay, so what I am doing, I will say equals to this minus this in Excel, right? And it is 1300, and if I just drag it down, so it is the same formula. If you see this formula is C2 minus B2, C3 minus B3, C4 minus C5 and C6. So each row is getting calculated based on this. So this is an example of a row context, and this is a column. Okay, I am giving another example of a filter context here, but it is not a measure because there is no measure concept in Excel. Okay, so here suppose I want to, and this is called row context. Okay, so profit. What I will do in this case is, instead of doing like this, I will select complete store, complete this B2 minus B6 minus C2 minus C6. Okay, if you see, I am selecting the complete range. Okay, instead of selecting row by row, I am selecting complete sales, complete budget sales, in the sense complete column. Okay, now if I put enter, automatically everything will be calculated. And if you see the first cell here, it is B2 minus 6 and C2 minus C6. It will continue till this. So what is happening in this case is, I should select the other way actually. So let's do that. I think this is a wrong thing. So it will be C2 minus C6, sorry, equals to C2 minus C6 minus my B2 minus B6. Okay, enter. So it is exactly the same data. Now if you see here, exactly same, but it works on a filter context. Why? Because whenever I am referring, I am completely referring to the particular column itself rather than the individual element. Inside that, it is referring. So it is coming like C2 minus B2. It is C3 minus B3. This is C4 minus B4. So each the sale, whatever is going on, it is looks like a filter context. So filter context mean it will refer to a particular column. Okay, complete column it will understand. It should understand this column as, okay, complete column, and on top of that each individual element is work as a filter context. Okay, in Power BI. This is the example, or I can say looks like an overview of a filter context and row context, how it works inside your Power BI, right? Another example, let's go to a database where I am just creating a table here. If you say I am creating a create table and test, the table name is test column. I have three columns I have. One is name, actual sales and budget sales, and I am creating a profit column here as budget sales minus the actual sales, or it should be like this. It should be actual sales minus my budget sales. Okay, and when I am creating this table, okay, and right now if I say select star from my test underscore column, and if I try to execute this, there is nothing, but this profit is a column. It is available inside the table. This is the example of a column. Okay, and when I am inserting some records here, let's try to insert some record. So I hope you are knows about some database. So, but if you don't know, that's not an worry. I have just given an example so that you can understand better. Okay, so I am inserting some records. So first record I want to insert as A because it's a name. Then let's take actual sales is 2000. Okay, and my budgeted sales was 4000. Okay, and that's it. These are the three records I want to insert, and profit will automatically calculated. We see here executed. Now if you see here, it is minus 2000. So, and this column is available inside your table itself. Fine. And what is measure? Measure is something like on the fly. So if I say select name, then say actual sales, yeah, from let's take test underscore column, okay, and name, let's take, I will say actual sales, my budget sales, okay, and on the fly I want to calculate here, okay. So I will say my actual sales minus my budget sales as profit underscore new, okay. So this is this is just an example of a measure. So whatever available on the first row, because I have two records here, right. So this record will be get calculated and it will create a profit new. In this case it's a column, but think like that it is not available inside your table. If I say select star from test column, only profit will be available, okay, because that is a column. But when I am executing this query on the running part, this is getting created, okay, and this is an example of a measure, right. So measure will be running, it will be created on the fly, okay, make sense. Now let's understand, you understand the row context and somehow the filter context from the Excel standpoint. Now let's discuss about the filter context on the on your Power BI sites. So we have created a total actual sales, correct, and as I told you this, it is not storing inside that anything. Now let's try to create a table, okay, let's try to create a table, and here if I add the total actual sales, okay, so I am getting some amount here. Let me just remove value something, sorry, increase the price, okay, and even the column header also, correct. So this is your total actual sales available in the current model right now, okay. Now suppose this measure I want to segregate based on the region. So I will drag my region here and I will put it back. Sorry, not here, not in the extra table, in this case only. Let's add the region. Now if you see here, let's go to the down here. Yeah, so now the amount which is available previously is getting segregated based on the region, okay. This is the behavior of the measure, is that it will work as a filter context. So what is happening in this case is, so I am talking about the region as a column, okay, and it is Africa, and how you are getting this value I am just trying to explain you this, okay. So it is going to the region table and it is putting a filter on the region, okay. So what is doing, it is going to the region table. Let's go to the region table here, sorry, okay, and it is putting a filter on region equals to Africa, because each is a filter context here, okay. So on the whole column, because filter context work on the complete column, and it is putting a filter called Africa, first one, okay, and it is getting a region ID here is equals to 1, fine. And how my total actual sales is calculated, it is available on the store table, actual sales column, correct. So based on my data model, my region and my store is connected through the region ID, correct. If you see the model, now what happen is, I got a region ID for the Africa, that region ID will flow as a filter context here, because I have a filter context here. From the region I can filter out the store table. If you see the one to many relationship where the direction is one directional here, okay. So what will happen is, it will take the region ID as 1, it will go to the store table and it will put a filter on region ID equals to 1 first, because that is the region ID I am getting for the Africa. and how much my actual sales is there. In this case, it will just sum this up and it will give me the data for this guy. The first one, same it is for America, Asia, Europe, Oceania, everything. Make sense? So this is called your how your filter context work and what is a measure is all about. Make sense? All right. So now there are multiple factors are there for the filter context, how it got impacted, correct? So first the visualization. Under the visualization, if I have any column, then the filter context will work because based on the region it is there. On the visualization, how many number of dimension is there, it will work. Second, suppose you have a slicer. Okay, this is external. This is external filter. Now in this one, let's take. I want to take. Let's take an name of take a name, owner name, right? Now if I am selecting any filter from here, now it is changing. So in this one, how the total actual sales is calculating, there are two filter contexts. First filter context is coming from the visualization, which is region column. Second, it is coming from the owner name, second one. Okay, it should be make it clear. So that's where the your measure will work. Another one, you can have a filter context on the filter cells also. So what I will do in this case is, let's select something else. Let's take 2 selection. Okay, 3 selection I have done it, and what I am doing is, in this case is, let's take, I am putting a CT column here. Okay, in CT column I am putting this guy. Okay, now what happened, how many filter context is going on in this case is region filter, my name filter, and my city filter also. So filter context can from the same visualization, can be from the slicer, and can be from the filter self. Understand? These are the three. Another filter can come up from another visualization also. Okay, let me remove this. You understand this? So let me remove this also, and let's take, I have another another visualization here, and instead of region I am having the, let's take country wise. Okay, country wise my total sales here, total actual sales. All right. So correct. Now I am selecting something as a China, let's take. Okay, it is changing. So here also there is a cross filter is going on. Okay, so I am selecting the second visualization, it is affecting the first also. So filter context of a measure can be affected by, first from the visualization filter, where what of the column I have. Second, it can be come from another visualization. Third, I showed you it can be done from a slicer. Fourth, can be affected by the filter section. Fine, got the point? So this is about your measures, column, filter context, and row context. Very easy, you need to understand clearly. One more last thing I want to discuss in this case is, suppose this is a matrix, okay, and I have a row and column. So in the column, let's take, I am taking country. So now what happens is, in this case also there are two visualization filter. One is from the region, one from the column. So row and column both are filter context here. So this amount, whatever amount is coming, it is for the region Africa and country Australia. Make sense? So this is the way your filter context works. Okay, and we can modify, we can remove, all these things we can do if you understand properly the filter context, how in Power BI it works. Okay, so you should make sure these 4 terminology, measure and column, what is the difference between in row context and filter context. And column always occupy the space, that's why we are going for a measure. So what are the two areas, real-time scenario, where column will be used? Because it is occupying some space, right? So where column can be used? First, anything you want to display as axis. Suppose you are doing a chart and all, the axis measure will not work. Okay. Second, slicer. In the slicer, we can't put any measure. It will always a column. So these are the two areas I can think where you can go for a like a axis and slicer, and any small calculation. Okay, that to be you can create in Power Query rather than going for a tax column, because it is easy in the Power Query. Okay. So these are the areas where you can create it, and you understand the row context and your filter context. I have given an example on Excel also. I can give an example of in this one also, and I give an example of a SQL, how what is a column and what is a measure as well. Okay. So hope you like this video. Please do subscribe to this channel for more interesting and real-time scenario like this. And please guys, please do subscribe. It will just motivate me to come up with so many scenarios. Okay, and thank you guys, and have a nice day.